Hello friends, Molly Pompadith here, CEO of the SOAR Community Network and co-founder of the SOAR Community Nebula. Our goal is to bring to you 1,000 champions of change and community builders. And today I am so delighted to bring to you Darylyn Freeman. Thank you so much for being with us.
I'm so excited to be joining you.
Oh my goodness. Well, we recently just met each other, but we had an instant connection. So I feel like we're fast friends. Really admire all of the commitment that you're doing to build a practice and a business that's meaningful for you. So can you reintroduce yourself to our community and share more about the work that you're currently doing in the world?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Darylyn Freeman. I go by Derry for short. So you're all welcome to call me Derry. I am a financial planner and I focus my practice primarily in working with families that include executive level women and entrepreneurs. And that's my passion. I'm excited to talk a little bit more about kind of how I got here and who's influenced me.
That's great. That's great. Well, when you think about financial planning and you think about women, I mean, I'd love for you to kind of sprinkle this in if it's relevant, but the next question comes down to who in your life has impacted you and has shown you some love in terms of a mindfulness leader or a mentor that has guided you to be the woman that you are. And if it is relevant, anyone in your life that kind of inspired you to move in this direction of financial planning, primarily focusing on women and entrepreneurs?
Yeah, thank you. So I thought a lot about this question, and the person or the experience that made the biggest impact actually just hit me like an hour or so ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So it was actually in high school. Going into my senior year, I had a theater director's name is Lou Volpe, and taking the theater classes really gets you outside of your comfort zone and comfortable with risk and comfortable maybe failing or messing up. And I just realized that this is a skill that was learned and taught to me. And it really started in high school with Lou Volpe. So I would say he's been a really big influence in developing, again, that habit of just saying, I'm just going to go for it. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. No big deal. Keep going. So he was a huge influence. And to be honest with you, in terms of the women, my passion for women and entrepreneurs, I do really look to my parents. Both of them just had so much love in the house growing up. It wasn't perfect. There were arguments, but they always, made us hug it out afterwards. And it's okay to be upset with each other, but we always forgive and we're always family. And my dad actually takes care of my mom now, and she needs like full-time care at this point. And my sister and I always just talk about, my gosh, the love and the compassion that we've seen now between my mom and my dad as we were younger, and now my dad giving that back to my mom in a position that no one really wants to be in, but he's just got such a positive spirit and he's laughing and making jokes all the time. So those two really gave me a passion. My mom was the first to graduate from college in her family. And so they have both played a big influence in continuing to take that love and compassion for people and apply it in the professional career as well.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable to share that. It is amazing the things that get planted inside of us through the years, the things we witness and experience in life, and how much they become a part of who we are and how we operate in the world. So those are wonderful, wonderful examples. Can you now share with us other examples in the sense of character and attributes of what it means to be a community builder, what it means to choose to create positive social impact? So when you think about those folks in your life, community change agents, are there attributes that you've witnessed are consistent, like just always like on point?
Yeah, another one I spent some time thinking about, and people's faces actually popped into my mind. And I was thinking, like, what do these faces, all these people have in common? And one of the first words I thought of was just this like magnetic field almost of just when they walk in a room, you want to hear what they have to say, you want to be near them, they're completely engaged in you and what's going on in your life. They're great listeners. And beyond that, they all seem to have in common that there was something bigger than themselves. So something that drove them in those conversations or in their business that stretched far past their own time here and was going to have a ripple effect in the people that they got to know, whether that be through their business or in personal way.
That's awesome. I often think about that too. Just life kind of puts you in places and in front of people that you're supposed to gain something from, wisdom, knowledge, or sometimes what not to do. And as you go out there building your communities and empowering these businesses and these women, it's incredible how you can tap back into all of these lessons and share and pay forward that wisdom. Which leads me into the next question, which is, as a change agent, community builder yourself in this context of your work and also the other things that you care about, how are you advancing missions? Are there initiatives, movements, organizations that you are totally championing? Can you share more about those, please?
Yeah, I would love to. And I'm just going to start with some local women in the DC area that I've been fortunate enough to get to know on a personal level. And they're also, having a big impact in terms of their influence. So one of them is a relatively new business. It's called Good Sweat Studio. The owner, her name is Alessandra Hashemi.
Okay.
She's been a friend of mine for a while, but the studio, it's in Arlington. It is a spin studio, however, Good Sweat. So a portion of the proceeds actually go to local nonprofits, and she picks a different one every month. And there's a presence there. So people from these organizations are coming in, they're there giving out information or signing you up if you did want to volunteer. And I just love that she had this brand new idea. I've never heard of that before, of a passion for like a physical exercise, but also having that work that you're doing during her really difficult classes make an impact on your local community, a nonprofit down the street from her studio. So she's someone I think of where I'm just like, that is so cool. And it's really different too.
Yeah. That's gosh, there's so many cool ideas out there and so many opportunities to help other organizations and help build your community. As you were sharing something about your mom, I thought this was really interesting. Like, life is not easy, right? There we have so many ups and downs. So when you've been challenged or now you're going through these challenges, how do you ground yourself? Can you share a philosophy that you follow, a motto, or perhaps a quote that you can share with our audience? Because we all need it. We all need to tap into that place where we can reboot and reset when things are tough.
Yeah, sure. So I love the book, The Alchemist. And so this quote is actually from that. And it's precisely the possibility of realizing a dream that makes life interesting. And one, as a writer, I love the sound of it, precisely the possibility. It just feels good to say that. But to think about it, like that's, nothing's guaranteed, but just the fact that something's possible, isn't that exciting? And why would you not go for it? So I love that. And in my work with my clients and in my own life, that's something that it's actually the quote on my website that I come back to and just say, again, going back to failure, something didn't work out. Who cares? Move on. It's the possibility. It's still there. So
this is why I think I love you as a friend. The Alchemist is actually on my bedside table.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it's one of my favorites.
So
I think
funny.
I've read it probably 7 times in my
Yeah.
life, and I just
Yeah.
picked it back up about a month ago, and I was just like, and I look at all the things that I highlighted when I was younger reading it.
Yeah.
The things that really draw me in today is different. So you
Yeah.
can read it so many times, and just frame of reference is so key, right? Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Now, if you can imagine a better world, Derry, what would it look like?
Yeah, I joke around with this because in, my industry as a financial planner, I do say I work with executive level women, but I hope that there will be a time where that won't make sense to have that title anymore. You won't need to be doing any kind of special or specific planning because we'll live in a world where women are receiving equal pay. There's more flexibility in terms of work-life balance and caring for family members. And that just will be a thing of the past that we tell our grandkids about, that they think is so weird that grandma had a job where she focused on work with women, and be like, why? Why would you have to do that? So I hope, and I do think it can happen, within our lifetime, that we're telling stories to our grandkids and they're just like, well, that's weird. They're living in a completely different world that just doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah, I appreciate that optimism. Eternal optimists really do change the world. So thank you for being that. Is there anything that our community can do to support you right now? And what is the best way for us to learn more about you, get connected with you, and chat with you?
Yeah. So one of the organizations that I have been supporting since my undergrad, and that people may be interested in doing too, is with She's the First. So really easy way to get involved and give back if you do want to have that kind of potential, again, possibility of a ripple effect on someone's life. So I'm sure, we can include that information. I actually have it, my company matches my donations, which is amazing. And a lot of companies do. So I would encourage everyone to find out if there's an organization that you care about. There's a good chance that, your company will offer some kind of match. And that's all I ask, really, is just pay it forward, and be excited about the potential ripple effect you could have on someone's life.
That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you, Ali. Thank you.
I appreciate you. For those that are watching, thank you so much for journeying with us as we bring some positive vibes your way, highlighting people and all the great work that they're doing in the world. Human beings need each other. And so we also need your stories to inspire and empower. Please nominate yourself or someone in your community who's making a difference, and visit us at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. Thank you, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.